Imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a lively, bustling room, surrounded by conversations, laughter, and smiles. Yet, despite the crowd, an undeniable loneliness creeps into your heart. It's as though the noise amplifies the silence within, leaving you feeling disconnected. Sound familiar? Many of us have experienced this strange paradox. While it might seem like a flaw or burden, Zen and Buddhist teachings suggest it is neither. In fact, this discomfort often carries a profound and beautiful message, an invitation to rediscover yourself. We live in a world where noise is constant, not just the audible kind, but the mental chatter of expectations, opinions, and the relentless pursuit of superficial connection. In this chaos, your spirit might long for something deeper: peace, authenticity, and stillness. As an ancient Zen teaching wisely reminds us, a wise man seeks solitude not because he dislikes others, but because he loves peace. This pursuit of peace is not about escaping the world, but about finding balance within it. It's about listening to the quiet call of your inner self amid the distractions. Today, we'll explore 5 profound reasons rooted in Zen and Buddhist wisdom that explain why you might feel discomfort in social settings. These reasons aren't meant to judge you, but to illuminate the lessons they hold. Together, we'll unravel these insights through inspiring stories, practical examples, and actionable lessons. This isn't just about why you may prefer solitude. It's about how embracing it can lead to deeper self-understanding, spiritual growth, and more meaningful connections. So, if you've ever wondered why the company of others sometimes feels overwhelming or draining, stay with me. You're about to embark on a journey of discovery that may change how you see yourself and the world around you. Let's begin. 1. Your spirit craves authenticity. In the swirl of social events, have you ever walked away feeling drained, as if the energy in the room had seeped away every ounce of your vitality? This isn't merely the result of fatigue. It's a signal from your soul, a quiet nudge urging you to seek something more. Authenticity. Zen philosophy teaches that the soul craves truth, not the performance of it. When we encounter masks, facades, and pretenses, the spirit feels suffocated, yearning instead for the purity of genuine human connection. There's a profound story in Zen teachings about a monk renowned for his wisdom who chose silence over words when visitors came seeking advice. One day, a frustrated traveler demanded, "Why do you not engage with us? Are our questions not worthy?" The monk, with a serene smile, replied, "Your words are but the reflection of what you want me to see. They are not who you truly are. When you are ready to show me your truth, I will speak." This story reflects a universal truth. In a world saturated with surface-level exchanges, silence often becomes a refuge for those who value authenticity. It's not avoidance, it's discernment. The monk's stillness wasn't a rejection of others, but a profound respect for the sacredness of real connection. Similarly, if you find yourself retreating from social settings, it may be your spirit's way of guarding its sanctuary, preserving space for what is real and meaningful. Consider this. When you're in a space where people wear masks, hiding insecurities, crafting perfect images, or saying only what they believe others want to hear, your soul feels the hollowness. It's like being in a room full of artificial flowers. The colors may dazzle, but there's no fragrance, no life. For someone who values depth, these moments don't just fail to nourish, they actively deplete. Authenticity, however, is transformative. Imagine sitting with someone who shares not just their words but their essence, their fears, dreams, and truths. The energy shifts, the air becomes lighter, and the connection feels vibrant, alive. These are the relationships that nourish the spirit, not because they are perfect, but because they are honest. They allow you to breathe freely and fully. This yearning for authenticity is not a flaw but a compass guiding you toward connections that matter. It's a call to prioritize quality over quantity in relationships. A single friend who sees and accepts you for who you truly are holds more value than a crowd of acquaintances who only see your surface. Your retreat from shallow interactions is your soul's wisdom in action. It whispers, "Choose truth." When you honor this call, You build a life enriched by relationships that uplift, inspire, and truly resonate with the depth of your being. 2. You absorb the energy of others. In the delicate web of life, Buddhist teachings remind us that all beings are interconnected. Every interaction we have, whether a casual exchange or a heartfelt conversation, is an exchange of energy. This flow can be uplifting, like a gentle breeze, or heavy and overwhelming, like a storm. Some individuals carry negativity, anger, or deceit in their energy fields, often without even realizing it. For those who are particularly sensitive to such vibrations, these encounters can feel like an emotional weight, leaving them exhausted and unsettled. Imagine stepping into a room filled with conflicting emotions, someone's hidden resentment, another's unspoken sadness, and perhaps a dash of forced cheerfulness masking deeper insecurities. You don't just hear their words, you feel their essence. This energetic noise can cling to your spirit, clouding your clarity and draining your vitality. A Zen story beautifully illustrates this phenomenon. A weary traveler, burdened with sorrow, approached a wise sage, seeking solace. The sage listened intently, absorbing every word of the traveler's grievances. When the traveler left, the sage did not return to his daily routine, but instead walked to a nearby river and meditated for hours. A student, curious about this ritual, asked, "Master, why do you spend so much time by the river after speaking to others?" The sage smiled gently and said, "The traveler's pain clung to me like mud. I must cleanse myself before I can help another." This story highlights an essential truth. Sensitivity to others' energy is not a weakness but a form of wisdom. Your spirit instinctively recognizes the need to protect itself from harmful or overwhelming energies. When you feel drained after social interactions, it is your inner self signaling that it's time to cleanse and restore. The key to navigating such situations lies in setting boundaries with compassion. This doesn't mean avoiding people altogether, but being mindful of the company you keep. Surround yourself with those who bring positivity, authenticity, and growth into your life. For those whose energy feels heavy or toxic, it's okay to limit your interactions or maintain a healthy emotional distance. Self-care is another vital practice for managing energy exchanges. Just as the sage cleansed himself by the river, you too can replenish your spirit through meditation, nature walks, or quiet moments of reflection. These practices act as a shield, helping you remain grounded and balanced in the face of external energies. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. To uplift others, you must first ensure that your own spirit is nourished. By protecting your energy and honoring your boundaries, you create space for inner peace and the ability to connect with others in a way that uplifts both yourself and those around you. 3. Noise distracts you from inner peace. The world today is saturated not only with sounds, but also with a constant barrage of opinions, judgments, and expectations. This mental noise often disrupts the serene stillness that many of us cherish. For those who value inner peace, the relentless chatter of society can feel like a storm, sending ripples across the calm lake of the mind, distorting clarity and draining energy. Picture a serene lotus blooming in a tranquil pond. The still water mirrors the sky, undisturbed and pure. But then, a strong wind rushes through, creating ripples that disturb the surface. The lotus, sensing the chaos, gently closes its petals. When the wind asks why, the lotus replies, "You bring chaos where there was peace. I must wait for you to pass before I can bloom again." This story beautifully illustrates the need to protect our inner peace from external disturbances. Much like the lotus, retreating from noisy environments is not an act of avoidance, but of preservation. Noise in this context isn't limited to loud sounds. It includes the ceaseless demands for attention, the endless stream of social media updates, and the unspoken expectations placed upon us by others. For someone seeking tranquility, even casual conversations about trivial matters can feel like a disruption, pulling you away from the stillness where your thoughts and insights naturally flow. The wisdom of Zen teaches us that silence isn't merely the absence of sound, it's the presence of stillness. This stillness is where creativity, self-awareness, and spiritual growth flourish. In moments of true silence, the noise of the external world fades, and you can hear the quiet whispers of your inner voice, guiding you toward clarity and purpose. However, maintaining this stillness requires intentional effort. Consider the times when conversations veer into gossip or negativity. These exchanges can be particularly jarring for someone who values depth and authenticity. The challenge lies in knowing when to engage and when to step back. It's not about rejecting people, but about discerning which interactions contribute to your peace and which disturb it. To cultivate inner peace, create environments that nurture calm. Surround yourself with spaces and people that respect your need for quiet reflection. Engage in practices like meditation, mindful breathing, or simply spending time in nature to anchor yourself amidst the chaos. And when the noise becomes overwhelming, allow yourself to retreat, not out of fear, but as an act of self-respect and care. The world's noise will always persist, but your ability to preserve your inner stillness can transform how you navigate it. Just as the lotus waits for the wind to pass before blooming again, so too can you protect and nurture your peace, ensuring that it remains a sanctuary for growth and clarity. 4. Your soul values depth over quantity. In a world where social circles are often measured by numbers, followers, likes, or how many people attend your gatherings, it's easy to forget the profound value of depth. Zen teachings remind us that true connection isn't about quantity, it's about quality. One deep, meaningful relationship has the power to enrich your soul far more than 100 superficial acquaintances ever could. This wisdom is beautifully captured in the story of a wanderer who spent hours collecting stones from a river. His bag grew heavier with every step, yet he felt a sense of accomplishment. Proudly, he presented his collection to a Zen master. Seeking admiration, the master asked, "Do these stones bring you joy?" The wanderer hesitated before admitting they did not. The master smiled and said, "It is better to carry one precious gem than a bag full of stones." The wanderer's realization reflects a truth that many of us grapple with. It's easy to fill our lives with connections that look impressive from the outside, but lack the substance that nourishes our spirit. Shallow relationships often demand time and energy without offering much in return. They can leave you feeling hollow, despite their abundance, because they fail to touch the deeper parts of your being. This is why, for those who value depth, large social gatherings often feel disinteresting or even draining. Surface-level conversations, forced pleasantries, and casual exchanges can feel like carrying a bag full of stones, heavy and unrewarding. Your soul, on the other hand, longs for the lightness and joy of a single meaningful connection. Much like the precious gem in the story, depth in relationships means being seen and understood for who you truly are. It involves vulnerability, trust, and mutual respect. These qualities create bonds that not only withstand the test of time, but also enrich your life in profound ways. A single heartfelt conversation with someone who truly listens can bring more joy and clarity than hours spent in a room full of acquaintances. Focusing on quality over quantity requires intentionality. It might mean spending more time with fewer people, or even embracing solitude while waiting for the right connections to form. It's about seeking relationships that allow for authenticity and depth rather than succumbing to the pressure of maintaining a wide social circle. By choosing depth, you're not rejecting the idea of connection, but elevating its purpose. You're creating space for relationships that uplift, inspire, and bring genuine joy. And in doing so, you honor not only the connections you choose, but also your own soul's need for authenticity and meaning. Like the Zen master's wisdom, this path teaches us that the fewer but deeper connections we cultivate, the richer our lives become. 5. Solitude reveals your true self. In solitude, a profound transformation occurs, one that often eludes us amidst the noise and distractions of daily life. Alone, away from the influence of others, we are free to encounter our most authentic selves. This encounter is not always comfortable, as it requires confronting fears, acknowledging flaws, and unraveling desires that we may have buried beneath societal expectations. Yet, this very discomfort is what leads to clarity, growth, and a deeper connection with who we truly are. Zen wisdom emphasizes that solitude is not loneliness. It is a sacred space where the soul finds its reflection. In this stillness, the layers of influence and pretense peel away, revealing the core of our being. It is in these moments that we can ask ourselves questions that matter. What do I truly want? What is holding me back? Who am I when no one is watching? The story of the seeker and the mirror offers a vivid metaphor for this journey. When the seeker entered the cave, all he saw in the mirror was the surface, his face, his physical form. But as he spent more time in solitude, the reflection deepened. He began to see his strengths, his flaws, and, most importantly, his potential. By the time he emerged, he carried a wisdom that came not from the world outside, but from the depths of his own soul. This story is a powerful reminder that solitude is not an escape, but a return to ourselves, to our truths. It's a chance to clear the mental clutter that accumulates from constant interaction with others, to hear the quiet whispers of our intuition, and to reconnect with the inner compass that guides our lives. In the absence of external noise, we gain the courage to confront our fears. Perhaps it's the fear of failure or the fear of being misunderstood. In solitude, we can dissect these fears, understand their origins, and begin to let them go. Likewise, we uncover our deepest desires, those that align with our true purpose rather than what we think we should want. This process brings clarity, enabling us to make choices that are more aligned with our authentic selves. When we embrace solitude as a gift, it becomes a tool for transformation. Use this time to meditate, journal, or simply sit in stillness. Let the quiet be your guide to self-awareness and growth. And when you emerge, as the seeker did from the cave, you will carry a wisdom that allows you to engage with the world more authentically and compassionately. Solitude, far from being a void, is a wellspring of insight and strength, a space where your true self is waiting to be discovered. Zen philosophy teaches that solitude and connection are not opposites but complementary forces that enrich our lives. Solitude provides the space to hear your inner voice, gain clarity, and reconnect with your core values. It is in this stillness that personal growth and self-awareness flourish. On the other hand, connection offers opportunities to practice compassion, patience, and understanding. Through our interactions with others, we learn to navigate differences, build empathy, and grow in ways solitude alone cannot offer. The challenge lies in discerning the right balance. There are times when your soul craves solitude to heal, reflect, or simply breathe. In these moments, stepping back isn't selfish, it's necessary. But there are also times when connection is the bridge to shared understanding and mutual growth. Knowing when to engage and when to retreat is an act of mindfulness and self-respect. Like the ebb and flow of tides, solitude and connection work together to create harmony in your life. By honoring both, you can cultivate a life of inner peace and meaningful relationships, each enriching the other in its unique way. Practical ways to honor your need for solitude. 1. Set boundaries without guilt. In a world that often equates busyness with worth, setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable. However, true compassion begins with self-respect. When you find yourself in environments or interactions that drain your energy, it's okay to politely step away. For example, if a social event feels overwhelming, limit your time there or decline the invitation altogether. Communicate your needs clearly and calmly, knowing that prioritizing your well-being allows you to show up more fully in the moments that truly matter. Boundaries are not walls, they are bridges to a healthier, more balanced life. 2. Seek meaningful interactions. Rather than avoiding people altogether, focus on cultivating relationships that inspire and uplift you. Surround yourself with individuals who align with your values and bring out the best in you. These connections nourish your spirit instead of depleting it. Think about the friend whose presence feels like a safe haven, or the mentor who encourages your growth. By prioritizing depth over quantity, you can build relationships that energize and support your journey. 3. Use solitude for growth. Solitude is a powerful tool when used intentionally. Instead of seeing it as an escape, treat it as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. Meditate to quiet the mind and connect with your inner self. Journal your thoughts to gain clarity on your goals and emotions. Pursue hobbies that bring you joy and help you explore your creative potential. These practices transform solitude from mere alone time into a sanctuary for self-discovery and renewal. 4. Practice compassion from a distance. Sometimes, the energy of others can feel overwhelming, even if their intentions are good. In such cases, practice compassion from afar. Send kind thoughts or prayers to those who need support without directly engaging. This allows you to maintain your peace while still honoring your empathy. For example, if a friend is going through a tough time but their negativity is affecting your mental health, you can offer support through a thoughtful message instead of a lengthy, emotionally draining conversation. 5. Embrace life cycles. Life naturally ebbs and flows between solitude and connection. There will be seasons where you crave stillness and introspection, and others where you long for companionship and collaboration. Honor these rhythms without judgment. Trust that both solitude and connection have their place in your journey. By flowing with these cycles, you can maintain balance and avoid the guilt or pressure that often accompanies societal expectations around social interaction. By integrating these practices into your life, you can honor your need for solitude without sacrificing meaningful connections. This balance allows you to live authentically, with a heart that is both open and at peace. Disliking social interactions is not a sign of weakness or an antisocial nature. Rather, it reflects your deeper spiritual needs. These feelings, whether they arise from a yearning for authenticity, sensitivity to the energy of others, or a desire for inner peace, are profound teachers. They guide you to explore who you are, what you value, and how you can align your life with those truths. Instead of viewing these tendencies as shortcomings, recognize them as invitations to cultivate balance and live more authentically. The parable of the fisherman offers a powerful metaphor for this journey. He fished alone, not out of loneliness, but to hear the wisdom of the lake in its stillness. The solitude allowed him to discern the right moment to cast his net, ensuring his efforts were fruitful. Yet, he did not keep the bounty for himself. He returned to his loved ones, sharing the wisdom and nourishment he had gathered. Solitude, like the fisherman's quiet reflection, provides clarity and purpose, but connection offers a space to share the gifts we gain from that clarity. In embracing solitude, you honor your spirit's need for stillness and self-awareness. And when you return to the world, you engage more fully, authentically, and compassionately. Solitude and connection are not opposing forces. They are complementary elements of a meaningful life. Together, they guide you toward harmony, allowing you to grow inwardly while enriching the lives of those around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this video resonated with you or brought you a moment of clarity, please share it with someone who might find it meaningful. Your act of sharing could be the light someone else needs. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could inspire and connect with others in ways you might not imagine. Let's continue to explore mindfulness, self-discovery, and the art of living authentically together. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss new content. Together, we can build a community that nurtures growth, understanding, and peace. See you in the next video.